Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're doing a top 10 list that's a little bit unconventional. It's just a fun list. I get asked questions like this all the time. What do you want companies to make? So this is going to be not really a top 10 in order. There's no particular order. This is the 10 figures or things I would like to see get announced next year. They don't have to release next year because that's not how action figures work, but I would like to at least see announcements for these particular IPs or characters, and I'll try to remember to include which brand for certain things if I don't have a specific one already, who I want to make them. But this is going to be the 10 characters or lines I'd like to see get announced next year, plus an honorable mention. So let's go ahead and start with that. The honorable mention is going to just be Marvel vs. Capcom figures. If Hasbro has to do it, fine. Jada, even better. I don't care, but I want them to be the MVC specific designs, not some half-assed ones that Hasbro's done that look kind of like it. I want them to be those exact character designs. The MVC look is a very specific look, very stylized, very exaggerated, very dynamic. That's what I want to see. Spider-Man, Wolverine especially, Iron Man, War Machine, sure, Cable, all of those guys. Definitely. The Street Fighter ones are basically just your average Street Fighter looks, but still, I would like to see that. And I think basically everybody agrees that they would like to see a line from that game. So hopefully we do get to see that at some point. So coming in at number 10, though, like I said, there's no real order. I would like to see some Full Metal Alchemist figures. I don't know why we don't have the brothers in good action figures yet. There are some, and they're good enough, I guess, but they don't really match any other scales, or they're exorbitantly expensive, and they're still kind of iffy. I just want some good ones from Figma or SH Figure Arts. That's what I want. And of course, I need Alphonse to be appropriately large and Edward to be appropriately small. I want them to be proper scale to go with my other import figures at least. If not 1/12 scale, that's fine, because mostly things are kind of close to that. But we need some good figures from this, probably the best anime if you're talking about Brotherhood of all time, or at least one of them. So yeah, I want some good figures from that IP. Coming in at number 9, I want to fill out my Smash Brothers roster a little bit, but with specific characters from things that I want specifically, not just because they're in Smash. For instance, I want N64 style Star Fox characters, at least Fox and Falco, but I'll take the other ones too, Slippy and Peppy, just to fill out the team. It'll work for Smash collections, it'll work for a Nintendo collection. I want those, and I want them fully articulated, not these $10 figures that we keep being able to get, which is fine, but I want good ones, so I want those guys. I want Donkey Kong Country figures, 1, 2, and 3. Fully articulated for their individual games, yes, but then also I can throw those into the Smash collection. That would be great. But yeah, DKC, definitely need those, Donkey Kong and Diddy at least. And also, let's get King K. Rool in there. I would love that. He's one of the best looking characters Nintendo has produced, if you ask me. I do also want 2 more Fire Emblem characters. If they have to come from Figma, that's okay, even though some of their releases haven't been up to par. Who has lately? I would like to get Ike in the more muscular version of him. That would be great for the Smash collection and just for anybody who likes big sword-wielding guys. And then also Roy, because Roy is our boy if you played Smash, and that would be a nice addition. Don't know why they didn't make Roy. It's weird that they haven't, but they haven't, so I guess Marth also. Did they make a Marth figure? I don't know, I can't remember. Either way, all of those would be great. And then lastly, from Nintendo, for now at least, I would like a Little Mac. Who doesn't want Little Mac? He's a gaming icon, and of course he's in Smash. Definitely need a Little Mac, maybe even a couple versions with the jacket or without the jacket, but I would definitely love that. Okay, coming in at number 8, Devil May Cry 4 Dante and Nero. Just like the Play Arts figures that came out forever ago, but smaller scale that can go in with other lines like SH Figure Arts would be perfect for these guys. I think the DMC4 looks are definitely the best for these characters. Very dynamic, very true to the character. They didn't try to westernize them at all at this point, and I think they just look awesome, and I think they'd be fun to have in the collection. Coming in at number 7, Jet Set Radio Future, or since they just announced that they're developing a new Jet Set Radio game, that one, I don't care, as long as it's the same characters. I would like the crew from Jet Set Radio Future and maybe even a couple of the bad guys. That game, if you haven't played it, it's one of the most fun games ever, whether you're into the whole graffiti and rollerblading thing or not. I'm not at all, but I love that game. It's got so much charm and character to it. I would like to at least get a few figures from that line, like Beat and Zero Beat and maybe a bad guy or something. I don't know, but definitely want that. Okay, coming in at number 6, this one is one that's very near and dear to my heart, and I think a lot of people are talking about this lately because of the remaster, but Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars figures. I want the whole team. I actually designed my own Geno figure. I haven't produced it yet. I printed out the parts, but I haven't had time to assemble it or anything. But yeah, I definitely want some figures from this with this particular style, whether it's closer to the traditional look or these newer ones that are a little bit more contemporary looking. But yeah, Mario, Geno, Mallow, Peach, and Bowser. We need those. They want to throw out some bad guys too. That would be awesome. But I think you'd have an instant hit on your hands if you sold some of these game-specific versions of these characters. Mario RPG is loved by many people, so that would be awesome, and it would definitely be good for me. Speaking of Nintendo, we're going to go back to Nintendo because Nintendo just hasn't done enough, I think, with their IP. We're looking at, for number 5, the Ocarina of Time version of Link and Ganondorf. These particular versions, Adult Link and Ganondorf, they are, if you ask me, the best versions of the characters to this day. There are other cool versions of them, especially with Breath of the Wild and things like that. It's fine, but I want the OOT versions. I do think for most people, OOT was the best version of Zelda. Let me know what you guys think if you're Zelda fans out there. Which game do you think is the pinnacle of Zelda gaming? For me, it's that, and character designs too. So I would like that, Link and Ganondorf from OOT. Apparently I have a lot of Nintendo on here, I forgot, but that's okay. If you're into Nintendo, that's a good thing. Anyway, number 4 is Super Metroid Samus, and then a Ridley figure. I don't care which version of Ridley, he doesn't change that much, but Super Metroid Samus. We have a few great Samus figures already. It's time for Super Metroid, the turning point for the franchise that really sets Samus in gaming history, if you ask me, and especially with that super stylized look with the super proportions and not just the more slender build that we're seeing more and more these days. I want the Super Metroid version of Samus, and then like I said, anything for Ridley would be good. They'll both fit in the Smash collection, even though we already have Samus, but they'll also just be a nice bit to have. And you can also add in some other bad guys too. Like there's a lot of depth to the Metroid games. It'd be a great license for any company to pick up, but I think Figma's doing a good job with the Samus figures, so they could continue if they wanted to. That would be fine by me. Otherwise, I would take SH Figure Arts, I suppose. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So coming in at number 3, this one's kind of a no-brainer. It's going to happen at some point, I think, but I would like Akuma from Jada. I would like to get Akuma in this collection sooner rather than later, and especially Shin Akuma. That would be great. And we're talking traditional Akuma, not Oni, not any of these ones with the ropes and things, like the big belts and stuff. No, just classic Akuma. That's what I want. And that's not a real big deal, because obviously they're going to do it at some point, it seems, but that's what I want from them. And then same kind of thing at number 2, I would like Storm to obviously continue their Soul Calibur line and give us Nightmare. Particularly, I think it was Soul Calibur 3's version of Nightmare, but really any version, I'll take it. Nightmare is one of the best, coolest looking badass knight characters with a giant sword, and that's right up Storm's alley, so I can't wait for them to continue that line. And then lastly, at number 1, I want them to continue their Street Fighter line, which they're going to do obviously, but I want Vega. Sooner rather than later. He's one of my favorite character designs of all time. For being a fairly basic design, he's such a dynamic character once you get imposed with the claw and the mask and the whole thing. I just like the character design a whole bunch, and I think it's high time that we finally get a really good figure of him. And I know Jada showed theirs recently. We'll see how that turns out, but still it's not in the Storm style, and both lines have a place in my collection. Everybody likes to say, well, I'm going to do one or the other. You can do both. They're different scales, different styles all together, so enjoy both of them for what they are, and that's what I'm going to do. I really want Storm to do Vega. The Jada line's great, but Storm, if we can fill out a roster, I think that would be, for me, even greater, but we'll see how that goes. So there are the 10 things. Some of them are whole lines of figures, but at least 10 figures that I want to see at least announced next year. Let me know if you guys have anything you want these companies to make that they haven't made yet, and we can talk about that in the comment section below. But that's all from me for today, so thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.